SAFE, Seatbelts Are for Everyone, is a peer-run program that aims to improve these statistics. SAFE was founded in 2008 in Crawford County, Kansas by Sheriff Sandy Horton, local law enforcement agents, and a group of high school students in response to a horrific crash that shook the community. Now, DECA offers SAFE across several states to educate young drivers and passengers about the importance of seatbelts and how to avoid risky driving behaviors. SAFE consists of 4 main parts: unannounced seatbelt and distracted driving surveys, at least one educational activity per month during the program, monthly pledge card signings and prize drawings, and an enforcement period conducted by local law enforcement.
One of the most important parts of the SAFE program are the unannounced observational surveys. 3 surveys are conducted during the program. The first survey, or baseline survey, should be done before the program begins in the fall. The second survey, or mid-survey, should be completed in late winter. The final survey should be completed at the end of the program in April. The baseline and final surveys are both vital to the local and statewide success of the SAFE program. To maintain program fidelity, both surveys must be completed and submitted to the state's SAFE program specialists.
The 3 observational surveys should be done in the same manner, and the steps for conducting them are simple. First, it's very important that you, as SAFE team leaders, don't tell your classmates about any of the surveys. Accuracy of the survey depends on it being as honest as possible. Accurate collection of data can only be attained if your peers are going about their normal routine. If they have a heads up, they know what days to wear their seatbelt, which skews the data and gives inaccurate results.
Next, pick the days to observe. You should try to conduct the baseline, mid, and final survey 2 days in a row. Tuesday, Wednesday, or Wednesday and Thursday are the best days to complete the surveys because of holidays and in-service days.
Next, choose the observers. There should be 2 student observers, 1 primary and 1 reliability, at each parking lot entrance. The primary observer is the leader of each observing team. They will describe the vehicle they're counting and what line of the form they're using.
White car, line 11.
Decide on the best observer location with your SAFE sponsor. On the day of the survey, your SAFE sponsor will provide each observer with a clipboard, safety vest, and the survey data sheets. The data sheets can be found on the SAFE website. Be sure to complete the top of the data sheet before you start the survey and specify whether you are the primary or reliability observer. If you use more than 1 data sheet, be sure to fill out the top of each sheet and mark the page number at the bottom.
Surveys start 30 minutes before school starts and ends 10 minutes after school starts, with the observers in place for the full 40 minutes. Let's go over the proper procedure for filling out the observation sheet. For each observable vehicle that passes, observe the driver and record yes if the driver is belted, or no if the driver is not belted. Next, pick one of the following for every driver. Select P, phone, if the driver is on a cell phone with the phone to his or her ear or is obviously talking on a hands-free phone. Select T, text, when the driver has a cell phone in hand and is oriented towards the face of the phone or is otherwise obviously texting. Select O, other distractions, if the driver is in any way exhibiting some behavior that is competing with the road for the driver's attention and can delay the response in an emergency situation. For example, eating, playing with the radio, looking for something dropped, or any other distraction. Select N, none. Select this option if the driver appears to be oriented towards the road, has nothing in their hands, and seems to be able to react in an emergency situation while driving. Do not leave this blank. Circle N if the driver is displaying no distraction.
If there is a front seat passenger, record their seatbelt usage. If there is no passenger, leave the passenger belted column blank for that observation. Some other rules. A person is considered wearing their seatbelt as long as they are wearing it correctly. If someone is wearing it incorrectly, either behind their shoulder or under their arm, for example, they should be marked as not wearing their seatbelt. Backseat passengers are not counted for this survey. Only record the seatbelt status for the students in the front seat of the vehicle. Also, school bus and delivery truck drivers do not count. During the survey, neither observer should announce to the other whether or not the driver or front seat passenger is wearing their seatbelt. If for some reason you cannot see into a car, then it's okay to skip a car or a few cars. It's better to have 100 accurate cars than 150 when you've guessed at some of them. When conducting the survey, do not talk to or interact with any driver or passengers. During the observation, you are not classmates. You're an observer, and they are your subjects.
Each day, when you have finished your observation, each observer should count the total number of drivers belted, not belted, the number of phone, text, other, and no distractions exhibited by the driver, and the total number of passengers belted and not belted. You'll record this info and put it on the bottom of your data sheet. Remember to count the actual number of N, none, circled and enter the total on the summary line. The final step of the survey is to calculate the percentage agreement. To do this, the primary and the reliability observers will compare their answers on each line. Mark it agree if you both have the same answers, or disagree if your answers differ. Once you compare all your data pages, you use this simple formula to come up with the percentage of agreement.
If your results show less than 80% agreement, you'll need to conduct the observation again. Don't let this formula scare you. Most teams have an agreement percentage in the 90s. After you conduct the second day of observations and count the totals for that day, you will once again compare your answers and calculate your percent of agreement. After that, clip your observations together with the primary observer's data sheets on top and turn them in to your sponsor. Remember, the data sheet and analysis spreadsheet are both online. Send survey results to the State SAFE Program Specialist after each survey is completed.
While the survey may be the most complicated part of SAFE, it's only one part of the program. After the baseline survey, it's time to kick the program off. The SAFE team gets to share the program with the student body at an assembly, pep rally, through a school-wide announcement, or any other way you can think of. Pledge cards, monthly prizes, and educational activities are also vital parts of the SAFE program. Each month, the SAFE team is responsible for giving all students the opportunity to sign a card, pledging to wear their seatbelts every time they're in a vehicle. Then, every month, collect the cards and draw names for prizes. Students need to re-sign a pledge card each month to keep their commitment to being safe, and it allows them to have a better chance at winning prizes if funding is available.
If a student is ever issued a citation for not wearing their seatbelt and they have signed a pledge card, their name should be pulled out of the signed pledge cards for that month only and thrown away. Some examples of the monthly educational activities: make and hang posters or flyers in the halls that focus on and remind people about traffic safety. You could also arrange for a public speaker or work with local law enforcement to organize a traffic safety presentation. Your highway patrol may have a tool called the Convincer, which simulates a 5-mile-per-hour car crash. Vince and Larry costumes may also be available for demonstrations. Get creative!
Back to the surveys. You'll complete the mid-survey in January. After that, the enforcement period will start. Local law enforcement will conduct a strict period of enforcing seatbelt laws. After the enforcement period, you will complete the last observational survey. It's strongly suggested that the final survey be completed in April or the first week of May, so you have a few days in May as a backup if it needs to be rescheduled. Remember, this final survey is crucial to the local and statewide success of SAFE, so it's very important to complete the final survey. The SAFE program will conclude with one final educational activity and prize drawings if prizes are available. You'll also be able to share the results of your hard work by sharing with your peers how much the seatbelt usage rate increased.
Over the life of the SAFE program, participating schools have seen positive results, regularly seeing increases in seatbelt use among teen populations. School and states involved with SAFE also continues to increase. Your participation in the SAFE program will not only help change the behavior of your peers, but increase the traffic safety awareness of your community.